New lockdown measures in Texas and Mississippi in regards to COVID. Elon Musk states that he's starting a new city, and we look at EU right to repair laws. This is your March 3rd Not So News update. Please like and subscribe if you're looking for your daily news content, and let's dive on in. Starting us off from USA Today, we have Joe Biden vows vaccines for all adults by the end of May. In the article, USA Today states that defying warnings from federal health officials about the need to stay vigilant against coronavirus, Republican governors Texas and Mississippi said Tuesday they're lifting COVID-19 restrictions, including mask mandates. Their decision came on the same day President Joe Biden said there'll be enough vaccines for every American adult by the end of May, which is still unlikely to stem the recent reversal in coronavirus trends after announcing an unlikely partnership between pharmaceutical giants Johnson & Johnson and American Co. to increase the production of the former COVID-19 vaccine. Biden said enhanced capabilities of that collaboration will allow the U.S. to inoculate more eligible Americans sooner. In the past, Biden had said there would be enough vaccines for America by late July. So a couple things here. First, that there's a sign that we could potentially have vaccines by May, potentially June and July. So, we're looking at the summer for potentially being able to get vaccinated. I think what we need to remember here is people will be opening up as a result of this. People, as much as they want to say that they're going to not allow it, people are just going to start seeing their friends as soon as they're vaccinated. And at that point, I think they rightfully so. At what point do we say that enough is enough? And you see a lot of people starting to jump onto the libertarian train as a result of this. People are fed up with government oversight when it comes to the lockdowns, and this goes into what we were saying, that Governor Greg Abbott ends statewide mask mandate and moves to open Texas to 100%. We saw this with the previous story where Mississippi is also joining Texas in opening up. In the article, Governor Greg Abbott said Tuesday it's time to open Texas 100% and end the statewide mask order, citing declining hospitalizations across the state as more people are vaccinated against the coronavirus. Abbott issued a new executive order which will take effect March 10th and rescind most of the earlier orders, including restrictions to business occupancy and the July 2nd statewide mask order. It'll be an interesting thing to see how this goes. The one nice thing about this is there will now finally be a test to see how many people are really affected by these types of lockdowns. We will see an increased economy as a result of this, but we will probably see more in coronavirus deaths and infections as a result. But the question is, to what extent? After being locked down for a year, we don't know how many people during that period really got infected and just never got tested. I know personally I've been really limiting how many people I interact with for the last year. And there's a question of, was I exposed and just didn't have the typical side effects? And Texas can really be a case study for us as a country to see where we're at. But I like to see this as a potential, we're closer to opening up than, we really are. And if places don't open up as a result, people are just going to move to Texas so they can. Elon Musk started a new trend on Twitter today for Starbase, stating that he's creating the city of Starbase, Texas, and then from thence to Mars and hence the stars. Jumping, I guess, on the CNN trend of rhyming whenever making a statement. And we'll see that later as well. But it's interesting to see the progress that has been made for potential space travel. I know Elon Musk has been going on a lot of podcasts that he thinks that there's going to be potential for actual Mars civilizations in the next decade or so. It'll be interesting to see what new resources are going to be found as we continue to discover more in the cosmos. From the Daily Mail, we have that the world's first space hotel began construction in low Earth orbit in 2025, complete with restaurants, cinemas, and rooms for up to 400 guests. They say experts from the Orbital Assembly Corporation plan to build the inner spinning wheel using robots and Earth robot. Individual pods will then be launched to attach to the outer edges of the spinning wheel. Pods will include hotel rooms, cinema bars, health spa, and restaurants, and could be sold to NASA. So far, there have been no details what it will cost to build or stay have been revealed by the firm. I think one thing you can expect from this is you will not be able to do a trade-in for your week in Hawaii as a timeshare for this type of vacation. I am expecting it to be substantially more expensive, but I think, just jumping on what we just read with Elon Musk, it seems very cool that we're starting to actually discover the cosmos in a a very unique new way. Up to now, civilization has really been limited to the Earth. It'd be really interesting to see like what plans there are for making places outside of the Earth habitable. I know Elon has said that he really has a plan for trying to create an atmosphere on Mars and being able to have people self-sustainable there. I think it's really crazy. There's been talk about having a secession within the United States. How cool would it be if we had two Earths next? From the Independent, we see that new EU right to repair laws require technology to last for a decade. New devices will also have to come with repair manuals and be made in such a way that they can be dismantled using conventional tools. This is a really cool story. I know right to repair was something I discussed about a month ago in regards to Australia passing new legislation, and it's something that I think is almost a standard that I'm surprised wasn't held before. Normally, right to repair is a mandate on private individuals being able to repair their own devices, and how it reacts with warranty restrictions. You would expect to be able to make simple changes, and that's not always true. A lot of time, if you do a simple fix to your machine, that does void the warranty. So really cool to see this type of legislation. I think something to note, this doesn't really cover everything, but as the article states, companies that sell consumer electronics such as refrigerators, washers, hair dryers, or TVs in the EU and in the UK will need to ensure those goods can be repaired for up to 10 years. These changes come as a result of legislation from the European Parliament, which recently voted in favor of establishing stronger right to repair rules. These rules should help reduce electrical waste, which has been increasing due to greater manufacturing. While the UK has left the EU, the UK's manufacturing standards will necessarily have to match those of the 27-nation bloc in order for any trade to continue. The rule comes in effect today. I think that's something that's also hits that individuals really outside the UK probably aren't as aware of, is how linked the UK still is with the EU. Obviously, they probably do a significant amount of their trade to the European Union, so which means they still need to be held to European Union standards when it comes to any of their manufacturing, assuming that they're trying to trade outside into the EU. Next, we have from The Guardian, Zoom sees revenue soar to 326% year over year as office life remains on hold. This is something we kind of all expected as a result of the COVID lockdowns and shutdowns of the economy, that there are businesses doing very well as a result of this. And unfortunately, these are the people that people complain about the most. Places like Walmart, Amazon, Zoom here, and even like big, grocery stores are doing completely fine. The places that have been hurt the most are your local mom and pop shops, your local bakeries, places where people aren't going anymore. And this is just kind of confirms what we've all been saying. In the article, The Guardian states that a year working from home may have driven many of us to the brink, but it's been great news for Zoom, the video conferencing business. On Monday, the company announced its revenues had soared 326% year over year to $2.6 billion, and there was a little sign of slowing at the end of the year. Sales soared 369% in the last quarter to $882.5 million. We are humbled by our role as a trusted partner and an engine for the modern work from anywhere environment. Our ability to rapidly respond and execute drove strong financial results throughout the year, said Eric Kwan, founder and CEO of Zoom. Something that I think is also here that many haven't really been thinking about, and something I've kind of been thinking about in my own job as a software engineer, is that we're going to start seeing less need for conventional office space. I know my company, before we're able to work from home for 1 day a week, and as of COVID, we're now working from home every day. But there's now kind of a standard that's going to be happening that there's less of a need for traditional office space. You might not get back to where you were working from the office 4 days a week, but you might split a desk where you work in the office 3 days a week. You might have someone else that uses your desk 2 days a week. You guys just kind of flip off, and it saves the company space. And we've now seen that businesses have been able to get by with this type of environment. It is unfortunate though. I do want to hope that local businesses are able to get back after this. I would really encourage, if you have a local bakery, restaurant, mom and pop, gift store, whatever, try to give them some love as things start to opening up. Finally, from RT, question more news, we have no jab, no Hajj. Saudi says all Muslims will need to have COVID vaccine before they can perform annual pilgrimage to Mecca. Health authorities in Saudi Arabia have said that any Muslim wanting to perform the annual pilgrimage to Mecca will first need to provide proof that they've been vaccinated against COVID-19. Saudi Arabia's health ministry confirmed the decision on a statement on Tuesday, saying the vaccine would be the main condition for participation, and compulsory vaccination would be required for all pilgrims. All Muslims who can perform are required to do so at least once in their lifetime. And the pilgrimage is comprised of a 5-day series of rituals attended by 2 million people in and around Mecca, the spiritual home of Islam. Muslims believe the rituals offer a chance to wipe clean past sins and start anew before God. Something I really want to, recommend related to a couple of the stories today is, as things begin to open up, please do support your local communities. There are businesses that have been really hurting as a result of COVID shutdowns. Specifically, restaurants are really hurting as a result. And then, any mom and pop store. I know small businesses often get hurt, especially, as we have more registration or legislation and red tape set up. It's really hard to make a profit, and it's the place that we really need to try and support as things begin to open up. Once again, please like and subscribe if you're looking for daily news content. This is your March 3rd Not So News update. Have a good one.